Everybody, welcome to Copeland's Corner podcast. My name is Yani Ababa. I'm going to be your host this week while Brian gets better. It's mandated he gets better, right, guys? And I've got a great panel with me today. I've got the science guy Brian Mallow with us, wonderful Ginny Sykes, and partner in crime Tom Sawyer. All right, so we have a lot of crazy to talk about, you guys. Definitely. I feel like every time I open my eyes and pay attention to the outside of my apartment, there's crazy. I can't keep up with the crazy.
Do you think if Kamala had been elected president that we'd even be able to have a satisfactory weekly show like this?
We'd have to have movie reviews.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
Because, remember Tan Suit Gate with Obama? They'd find a reason.
Yes,
they'd find a reason.
Oh, yeah.
She's hysterical. She's wearing pants. Her hair is not nice enough,
She laughs too loud.
Yeah. She shook his hand too firmly. What does she think she is? A man? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with
Well, their outrages, I can live with their outrages. They're cartoonish, as opposed to bombing a country, stealing, kidnapping a president of another country, threatening to bomb neighbors, threatening to invade another country that isn't doing anything to us just because for some reason you have some kind of weird thing that you desire Greenland.
As long as I can buy gas, I don't care about all that.
Who cares? People losing their lives, who cares?
Well, for about
getting stuff for cheap at Costco, that's all that matters.
For about a year, probably, I've been thinking that now the correct response to "May you live in interesting times" is "Fuck you. This is too interesting."
That's so funny. When I was young and I was going in the 80s, I was like, "Oh man, nothing's ever happening," because the Vietnam War was before, and be careful what you wish for. I wanted to live in troubled times.
Oh yeah.
I want to die in troubled times.
I didn't want to live in troubled times. I wanted to sit at a cafe in Paris and drink wine and talk about what people were wearing as they walked past me. And
those days are gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Now I complain every time I go to the grocery store. Why is cereal so expensive? It's so bad for you, and you want me to pay $3 more a box. All the healthy food I've noticed is way expensive.
I get the healthy cereal for $10 a box.
Hey,
I have
mine.
I have a pet peeve about cereal. Have you noticed? I think some cereal boxes, the front facing dimension is the same, but when you take it off the shelf, the box is thinner than it used to be.
Yes.
But on the shelf, it looks the same. And you take it down and you're like, hey, wait a minute.
It's like produced.
I have noticed that. Yeah, I've noticed that packaging has less in it, but it's more. And I've also noticed that because I buy a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, that they're going bad fast. Much faster. So I'm just spending more time at the grocery store. And there's a guy who works at the grocery store, which is a block away from my house, who is an incel little Charlie Kirk loving bitch. And he and I are going to throw down one day. I complain every day to his manager about him. He is the worst. I stood there and I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? Because I couldn't find something. He's like, what? I'm busy. And then the next day, I'm like, hey, can I just reach in there and get the cottage cheese? And he's like, ugh, and gets in my way. And I was like, sorry. And then he did something else. And I'm like, well, now I'm not fucking sorry. Fuck you. Move out of my way. I have to pay $10 more for this stupid ass cottage cheese and deal with you. He looks like he eats his boogers in the break room. And I'm mad.
Well, at least he doesn't wipe them on the produce.
Yeah. Hey, be grateful that he eats them in the break room.
Right. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why he triggered me in a way. And then he'll follow me around, and then he belched in my ear one day. Wow. And I just pointed at him I'll get you one day. I hate I'm going to get him fired.
Yeah. 6 months from now, 6 months from now, he proposes.
Right.
Ugh.
Is he young or old? I'm just curious.
He's he's young. He looks like he watches like Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk and all that stuff all day. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
And I told him to have a good day once when he was bagging my groceries. He looked at me like he was going to murder me in the parking lot. And then from that point forward, he just got progressively worse. And I was like, okay. So yeah,
I think there's going to be a generation of guys or men that are really going to be befuddled by the fact that they just turned 50 and they're single still. You know, I mean, I just think there's just a whole generation of unfuckable guys that are going to be.
That's nothing new.
Yeah, but I mean, the level that this is going to be at.
Yeah, and it's like self-created.
Right.
Like they don't have to be that way.
Exactly. Like who would want to date somebody who smashes his face with a hammer? I mean, and they say they're going for women, but they're like, they rate each other. Like the men rate each other in those movements. I mean, sounds pretty gay to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking last time I was getting Botox, I was thinking I would never date a man who would hit himself in the face with a hammer, but
I missed something. I don't know anything about the whole hammer hitting thing.
It looks maxing.
Oh,
yeah.
But how is that maxing? That seems like minimizing.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it was and I don't believe he really did it, but apparently their guru said he broke his face with a hammer so it would be more chiseled, but that doesn't make any sense because you can't be an amateur surgeon on your face.
There's that guy I don't know his name or what?
Clavicular.
That guy, I just yesterday on social media saw a clip where he and another guy, I think they're in France, and they're trying to hit on girls. And it's just a whole compilation that they put where they're talking to girls and trying to get them to go out. And they're really failing miserably. And they're really being kind of pathetic. And you know, what they say. And then he's like the part where he's walking away and he's like amazed that when a girl passes him and doesn't look at him, he can't comprehend it. Like, I can't comprehend not getting eye contact from a female.
But he was he aggressive with them or more like just like not very good at talking?
I'd say obnoxious. They are walking up to tables and basically saying, why don't you come meet us out at the club? It'll be better than anything you had planned. So I mean, yeah, pretty obnoxious.
Also,
they just read Tony Hedgecliffe's dating tips book.
Or Andrew
Tate. To black people and call them the N-word as well. Like, I think he's just a provocateur. And guess who's giving him money to do all this?
Who?
Elon?
Peter Thiel?
Of course.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when you were saying like the obnoxious young guy that you're experiencing, when you have someone be for no reason at all such an asshole, do you in your head have to go, is he racist or is he misogynist? It's like, do you have to like do that?
Or does he have a camera?
Yeah.
Well, I try to tell myself sometimes, you know, sometimes I go to the grocery store and the younger people are really rude. And I'm like, oh, Gen Z, I'm Gen X, right? And I'm like, and then I just say, have a good day to them over and over again. And after a while, they're like, hi, how are you? You know, this guy is gone in the opposite direction. He's like, she's so nice. I hate her. I'm going to be so rude and mean to her. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm going to beat your ass or get you fired.
If this was a movie, you'd adopt him. And then he'd start playing sports or something, you know.
It's well, it's amazing. I moved to Santa Rosa or Sebastopol, which is like a big hippie town, and it's like it's one of those places where you have a better chance of getting an argument with somebody at a four-way stop sign, and where everybody's trying to get you to go. No, you go. No, you. I said you go. I'm trying to let you go. That's where you end up getting argued because everybody's trying to be so nice, out nice each other. But it's just it's so takes so little energy to be nice. I don't understand when people are just foul people and what they think they're going to get from it, you know? And
I try to tell myself that they're miserable. Like they are unhappy. I try to let it go. But in a while, someone pushes my buttons. But
honestly, that guy would be fired in a New York second out here.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's true.
You know, I think anywhere in California that dude doesn't exist. You go to the manager, and then once the manager gets a couple complaints, it's like, dude, we're in the customer service business. That dude, that guy's gone.
Not in Nashville, though.
Yeah, not in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's different. The self-checkout, there's always, at that grocery store, there's always someone who's like watching me check out. And one day I like my phone number if I was planning on stealing this. You put in your phone number to get the discounts. And then she just kept looking at me and I was like, and now I'm scanning the peaches. I was so obnoxious because I was like, really, you're gonna hover the only Black person at self-checkout? I'm like, now I'm scanning this and putting it in my bag. And she was just like, she realized it. Now she's super nice to me.
Well, you taught her.
Hey,
but let things go.
Yaini, is this only for me, or Yaini's video is not flowing? It's mostly still shots for me. Is that on my end, or?
Yeah, me too. I can hear you, but you're.
I don't know if there's anything you can do about it.
It might be something I did with settings, and I don't know if I can change it.
Right.
So let's just get into the subject. So it'll be about you guys and your answers. Right? We have a lot to talk about.
And it's like we're watching a slideshow of you.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, but we last night was a very interesting night. It was primary night in a few states, namely New York. And this question's for you, Jenny. It's Democratic Socialist candidates had a great night. Everyone backed by Mamdani is having a Tea Party moment in some way. Like, they're questioning the establishment, they're challenging like Democrats who are more moderate and backed by corporations. So given the recent victory of the Democratic Socialist candidates, do you think the Democratic Party is having a Tea Party moment? And are establishment Democrats failing to grasp the shifting political climate? Or are they purposefully doubling down on this agenda? Because today I watched the pundits like Neera Tanden, and she's like, yeah, Mamdani's people won, but don't forget we had one candidate further up in New York who also won, like pushing that. So do you think this is a Tea Party moment? Do you think the Democratic establishment are going to hear the call?
I mean, as much as I would like that to happen, I'm not sure I think it's going to. Like, I lived in New York 30 years, and if this had happened when I was living there, I would have been ecstatic. You know, I was there when Obama won, and I lived in Harlem, and everybody, you know, erupted. I mean, we've had good times like this, but when the Tea Party was in existence, I used to be a journalist, and I went down to Tennessee, where they were having the Council of Conservative something, a convention of the Conservative Council. And it was like they made the Tea Party look like the Social Democrats. I mean, they were so far right. And they had, like, I guess their entertainment was this woman and her daughters who sang, it was like kind of the kinder, friendlier KKK. They represented the KKK, but they sang songs like they would just go, well, we just want to be with whites. And at the time, their whole message was, let's make ourselves more palatable so that we can move closer to power. And even some of them didn't think it would happen. But basically, that's what the Tea Party devolved into. You know, the Tea Party was going after, rhinos, saying they weren't conservative enough. And boy, did they get what they wanted or not. So the Tea Party moment, I think, is not a bad, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know that it's a good analogy because one, this was, it's fantastic. And Mandami obviously has a lot of charisma and a lot of power, but it's one city. And it's the House of Representatives. When the Tea Party took over, I think they took over 3 Senate seats in one election. So it was more dynamic. So I don't know if this can spread to the rest of the country. And I do think, maybe we'll get this country, it's far more easier for this country to be conservative than liberal. It's basically a conservative country compared to a lot of other places in the world. And I lived in Brooklyn when Jeffries and Letitia James were coming up, and I saw them as the voice of progression and they were great. And now they're against this new wing. And I think it's because they're worried it's going to tank them. And I don't know. I just think it is like the woman who won, I'm going to massacre her name, Chevalier.
Yeah.
She said she was talking to Amy Goodman today, and she said, workers are not getting a seat at the table. They're going to be running the table. And I was like, no, corporate America is going to clear the table. They're going to fight hard and dirty. So I would like to see this as an arbiter of change, but I am not sure that it's good.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries went from the progressive voice to the AIPAC voice.
Right.
And
right.
His former staffer was just hired by Palantir. Palantir is hiring moderate Democratic strategists right now, which is interesting because I think they know they're in trouble. But I think that there are other places where this message is resonating. DSA candidates or candidates who speak about DSA values like Plattner and Ossoff kind of. Ro Khanna is definitely a democratic socialist, but California has always been like that. I think that this is resonating with a lot of people. I used to sell insurance here in Tennessee, health insurance, and I would sign people up for ACA. And as I talked to them, the things that were important to them were the platform of the democratic socialists.
It isn't, but we are saying like people vote against their interests.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way it will go. I just feel like even the word socialist is going to bug people. And the fact that, MAGA, they might have been losing numbers, but they've been 40% for most of this time. The MAGA, I think they might be 39 or lower now, but that's an awful lot of people. And I don't think they'll stay MAGA because I think once Trump disappears, it's a cult of personality. But I certainly think the fact that 40% of Americans could agree with that far right a position is not a good sign.
Well, I'm not surprised by it, but Tom, what do you think about the candidates winning last night and the moderate Democratic response to it?
Well, my feeling about it is, I'm very progressive. I'm a big fan of the progressive movement, and I think that the established Democratic movement is, it's a corporatist movement. And that's the thing that most progressives and most people on the left hate about the party. I think half of the Democratic Party are people that are simply in the party because there's no other choice.
Right.
And then there's the Republicans, and I think a lot of independents are liberal or left leaning, but most of them can't stand the Democratic Party because they don't stand for anything. They literally stand for nothing. And this is the problem the whole time. We were just talking about this, about play in the middle. Well, you can't play the middle when if you go to the middle right now, where you're going to the right.
Yeah.
You're where the Republicans were in 1980 or 1978 or around there.
Yeah.
Because the Republicans are literally fascists. We're way past the hey, don't call us fascist stage of the game. We're in they're fascists, And they can pretend they're just doing this because they're cowards, which is something, hey, I wish more Democrats would just point out to these guys, you're a coward. When you vote for him and you don't believe it, like Cassidy apparently went off on Trump at a meeting they had today, just when it tore into him. I mean, if these guys all stood for something, Trump wouldn't even be here because he would have been convicted in the Senate in his impeachment for January 6th. They're ballless cowards. And so I think that's where right now most of the country is. You got ballless cowards, the Republican rhinos. You got the MAGA, which is nuts. And then you've got these corporate Democrats, which are the most neutered, sad sack group of people that we just want to get along. We want to be bipartisan, you know, and it's like, dude, that was what we were talking about in the 90s. We're so past the whole bipartisan bullshit. Right now, it's like, get on the train or don't get on it at all. We don't care.
Well, that's cowardly too, you know, that the Democratic, you know, I'll play the middle.
Yeah.
So, but
when there's no middle.
Even the worse than being cowardly are the people who, you know, the people who say what they don't believe, you know, like just out these, you know, that's the worst is people who, you know, I think Tucker Carlson, I think there are a bunch of people like outside the politicians who say what they don't believe, you know, they did it for ratings, and the Democrats and you know, I think Democrats are scared.
How do you operate like somebody like Megyn Kelly, who literally had Trump say the most horrible things about her, pretty much wrecked her career. And then she's kowtowing to this like sexist, ugly, fat guy who wears makeup. And
not anymore, though, is she?
I know, but she's very careful about and Tucker Carlson and all these guys that are doing this. What you listen to their language. They don't blame Trump. They blame the advisors of Trump. He's getting bad advice. You know, hey, poor Trump. If he would only get good advice, this wouldn't be happening. But he's getting bad advice from some bad people. And, you know, because then they can't go out and say he's an idiot. They know he's an idiot. You know Tucker Carlson knows he's an idiot. You know Megyn Kelly knows he's an idiot. You know 90% of the people on Fox. Oh, Trump?
I don't think Trump is an idiot. I think he's an evil. I mean, I think he's wily. I think he got his between Wile E. Coyote and Hitler, he's found his method, you know? I mean, well, Wile E. Coyote sucked, so maybe he's more like the Roadrunner. But
I appreciate that I still think he's stupid, but I appreciate that he's stupid because God help us if he wasn't.
Oh, yeah. I think he's smart. I think it's scary. I think he's learned that repetition. He's kind of like
but that's like that to me is like something you could teach your dog. You know,
if it's a smart dog. But that has been a question, because there in the same way that we don't find him charismatic at all, and it's just hard to wrap your mind around. But clearly, to some millions of people, he has some kind of charisma that we don't connect with. And I don't know about the intelligence. I mean, we know he's stupid in some ways. There's some, you know, he doesn't read. He doesn't. Right. He's not masterful in any of these subjects.
He's not an intellectual.
Yeah, and he's not the brains behind things. But yeah, he has something. I just don't even know how to characterize it.
Well, you know, I do think
he's lazy. He's intellectually lazy, and all about his personal
He knows how to be a bully well.
We've got some comments coming up for super people. This is Rex Sykes Movie Beat, and he has a very valid point. He's an idiot to accept and act on bad advice, right?
Yeah.
This is a totally valid point. He calls him a moron monster. I like your comments, homie. But it's just that he's such a narcissist, and he's all about aggrandizing himself and feeding himself, his ego, his bank account, whatever. He has no morals. So why do the work if it doesn't serve him? Do you know what I mean? Why bother knowing the Constitution? Who cares about that?
Right.
You know? I think, though, you know, he is a cult of personality. I don't think but I also think that what he's done is, even though I don't think anybody can replace him to have that, be the Messiah of MAGA,
Mhm.
in a way it doesn't matter because they've changed so many of the laws through the courts and stuff. I mean, and he has been able to change so much in this country that might take years to undo, I think.
But I also agree that because he's the cult leader, and there's no one. I mean, there's no one in the wings. There's no number two, easily defined number two. I mean, there is a literal number twos all over the place in the Trump administration, but there's not a leader in that group. They're all followers, and that's the problem when you build a whole administration around little toadies. Nobody wants JD Vance. He's just so icky.
Nobody likes JD.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no,
Rubio's
JD.
icky. Rubio is a sad little icky man. He's just kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
No, Rubio is one of those guys that I really think is low because he was so against Trump and then just to be a bootlicker. But Vance, at least Vance did tell him not to go to war with Iran.
But Vance was in there. There's that whole group of Lindsey Graham, and Vance compared him to Hitler. Like all these people, like are we ever going to know exactly what happened?
Oh,
were they threatened? Did somebody have something on them? Or is it just that they got on board because
they got on board? They're weak and they're all about power.
But that maybe
I think they got something on Lindsay. I think they got something.
I
want to know so badly what
it's probably it's probably only that he's gay, which in South Carolina might not play well.
Hopefully it's more than that.
I know.
I said, George, Alabama is like the last state that believes that Liberace was a ladies' man.
And you know what, though, on that cult of personality and what happens when he dies and there's no one to fill that spot, my fear for most of this past year has been, the thing is, at the point that he dies, they won't need the charisma anymore. They'll just take it to the next fascist level of, well, we've already secured control. We know he served that purpose, and it doesn't matter that we have no one. We have Stephen Miller.
Well, we have so many things in place that he put. But by the way, I just wanted to say, did you guys see Maggie Halberman from the New York Times?
Yes.
I think you're gonna, Brian. I think you're gonna find out some of the things that you want to know about these ball.
What did she write?
Oh, they're talking about like just stuff that they found. Well, there's really silly stuff like how he leaves his bathroom a mess and stuff like that. But they apparently have been able to verify, why people did certain things. They look at the Jon Stewart clip with them. They were really entertaining.
Oh, so funny on the Daily Show.
Super funny and very informative.
Yeah, it was great.
But it's just, and people are leaving the cult, but it's all the grifters and the influencers who are kind of leaving the cult. And I think that they see that the ship is sinking, so they're just trying to get on the raft, like Tucker Carlson. Like, Brian, if you see that Tucker Carlson has claimed that he is leaving the Republican Party. He doesn't know where he's going to go. He actually called them he called them treasonous, and he said that because they put the wishes of Israel before the American people. And I don't know, Brian, do you think that he means it? Or he's helped create this monster, and now he's like, peace out, I'm gone. Right. Do you believe it, or do you think he's trying to save himself?
For him and Margie, I would not take anything at face value. And I wish I knew. I just read something, and I don't know who wrote it, but I like this take on it, which is that Tucker Carlson is one of these guys that he's always, that the key to his success has always been being in opposition to something.
I'm sure.
And that and that's what he's doing. It's like that's no longer possible. All of this has happened, that you helped, everything that you were in opposition, everything that you did. And we also know remember with the voting machines issue, and we knew about stuff he said in text messages and maybe off the air about what he really felt about Trump. But he is so largely responsible. He played a huge role in getting us to where we are. And now, okay, so all his dreams came true. What's he going to fight against? Well, he has to find something to fight against. So
Well, he does have that whole thing about telling men to go out in the sun and have sunlight on their balls. I mean, he's got a whole.
Wait. Tucker Carlson does
Is it
this?
their
This
balls
sounds
or
like
is
some
it what you
wellness.
call-
I've seen that.
It's a wellness thing. Now, he's been doing this for years. He talks about how men are, not masculine enough, and so they have to go out in the sun, and if their balls get sun, they'll get
Right, sunbathing your testicles. That sounds like masculinity to me.
But Brian, he and his brother did a podcast or a conversation where he took some responsibility for the Trump thing, but I mean, it's so disingenuous. I mean, it's not like he didn't know at the time, like it's just like those people who say what they don't necessarily believe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand how sunlight on testicles comes out of Tucker Carlson. That just sounds
I'm sure
like,
that came from RFK
there's
Jr.
this great.
He sold.
Is it the
something
testicles
related
or
to
is it that space in between?
Yeah.
I thought it was getting sunlight on that. What do you call it? I forgot the word for it. That
taint?
space in between.
a taint?
No, in the testicles, the space. Is it the perineum? Is that what it's called? Oh, okay.
Well, that's funny because I only know this stuff from, there's a kind of a young woman who attacks terrible wellness influencer. Her name is Mallory, and she's pretty awesome and she features these guys that do stuff like that, like sunning their assholes, and maybe, might as well get your testicles while your legs are up in the air.
It's so funny because that Tucker Carlson movement, I mean, he's kind of backed away from it, but it's so like you were saying before about these incels or looks maxers. Like, I mean, it's so well, I don't know. It goes more to the stereotype of gay behavior. I'm not saying to the stereotype of gay behavior than, masculinity. I mean, who goes, I've got to sun my balls, I mean,
Nobody talks about gay stuff and more than straight Republican men.
Right.
They are obsessed with penises, really obsessed with penises, and where they're going and who they're attached to. So it's they're a bunch of closeted, angry guys. Who are like, we're gonna go get some chicks. Come on, guys.
Nick Fuentes, such a woman hater.
Oh yeah, why?
Because he's not interested. But he doesn't want. But he's in the closet. These guys scream, "I'm in the closet."
Except for, remember Milo? Was it me? Oh, but he converted to heterosexual.
Did anybody see that clip of like JD being on his wife's podcast where he taps her on the knee and goes, "Great to be here"? I cringe so hard, like not even like just sort of like a knee-jerk reaction, being hit by in the knee with a little rubber hammer by your doctor, just kind of like, it just went, ooh, and he's like, "Hi, honey," tap on the knee. And it's like, boy, nothing's happening in that bedroom.
It was like a 50s sitcom or something. The gesture did not seem offensive.
Yeah, you can't kiss her on camera, so just tap her on the knee.
Yeah, like the Dick Van Dyke Show in the separate beds.
Yeah.
Earlier, when we were talking about that first story and about the Democrats and Republicans, it's true. Like, we're pretty locked into a two-party system, and that's unfortunate because everything we were saying there was like screaming for more than two options since the Democrats,
The problem with that,
you almost have to respect the Republicans because at least they have positions. They're horrible positions, but they have them. And like you said, the Democrats really don't, and they won't take the extreme position, and they listen to the voice that says, hey, tone it down a bit. Don't be so liberal if you want to get.
You know that kid that's just an obvious parent pleaser, and or that person. It's just no matter what you go over their house, you can always know they're always going to give a compliment to the host, or what's that cologne you're wearing, Jim? What's that perfume you're wearing, Joan? What is this? Where did you get this meatloaf recipe? That's how the Democrats are. The Democrats they just want everybody to like them, nobody to hate them. They want to make everybody happy, but they can't make anybody happy. And it's so put upon, it's so fake and so phony. Nobody wants to have a conversation with them because it's so not real. It's like I read this article in Cosmopolitan, and if you ask these 10 questions in a conversation, people will like you better.
Yeah. Is that Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver? Is that
totally
dropping topical references?
Yes, if they're not cynical about it. They're just trying. It's like somebody's just trying too hard. Like that guy that's trying too hard to like you, or that girl that's got a crush on you that just won't fucking let it go. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. You're not my type. But is it okay if I just look at you through your kitchen window in the car? I'm not really hurting anybody, right?
But the thing is that the Democrats, may be like that, but they're still beholden to, corporate money, and they're just it's hypocritical.
They're just a gal who can't say no.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's her name? Oh my God, why am I spacing on her name? The current governor of Virginia.
Oh,
she said all the right things to get elected by the more left part of the Democratic Party, and then she got elected was like, oh yeah, no, I am an establishment. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. And that seems to happen.
Yeah,
that's the thing I worry the most about with Plattner. After Fetterman, I'm just like, I'm terrified of Plattner just going, ripping his mask off and going, this is who I am.
I think the people that support them are so mad and have had it, are so fed up that if he goes Fetterman, I think that he's really going to regret it. They might find a way to recall him or impeach him or whatever the rules are.
I wish if it could be done, Fetterman would be recalled.
Yeah, my fear, not a genuine fear, but it would be a nightmare. Because I really like him, James Tallarico. It's like this little idea that, ooh, what if he turns out to be like that? Like, this is a facade that I like so much. And I also appreciate that he can appeal to the religious people on the right, possibly in a way that so many other liberal candidates can't. But he possibly can, because he is genuinely, although they're trying to paint him like he isn't, but he seems genuinely religious, Christian, but in a good way.
Yeah, he actually follows the teachings of Christ. So, which is nice. But I will say this about Tallarico. Tallarico's got a track record where Plattner doesn't. That's the only thing. That's the other thing that bothered me a little bit about Plattner is that he hasn't moved from winning the House to going to the Senate. He's going right. He's skipping over everything and going right to the Senate. That's the part that scares me. That's what I mean. Wasn't Fetterman just part of the state works in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He was. I forgot which position he held in Pennsylvania before he got elected to the Senate. But he was one way until he had a stroke, and then it was he became. I mean, he's not fit to serve. He should just. I hate to say that. I don't want to tease him. I don't like it when people tease him about his mental capacity, because he did have a major medical incident, but that doesn't mean he should stay in the Senate. And that's the problem with politicians, that there's this weird decorum that they follow, no matter how much it hurts the American people, right?
Mitch McConnell.
But before I go on, we've got great comments going on. We've got great viewers. I appreciate you guys who are watching. And if you like our show, thank you for commenting. It keeps the algorithm going. It keeps us in the algorithm. But also, please just give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. It costs you nothing to be a subscriber to Copeland Air, and we appreciate you. And we're going to keep it rolling here because we've got something. Tom, let's talk.
Hey guys,
about Bill Maher.
before you go, I just got a text from Temu, and I got the sale. I gotta jump off. No, kidding. Has anybody bought anything from Temu and you get 10 Temu texts a day? It's hilarious. I thought that was a funny joke, but apparently
they con you into I actually just ordered something from Temu when I discovered that they're kind of like just like Amazon, and I was just like, oh, okay, they have local places I can order from. They con you. So you place your order, and they're like, your order is almost complete. You need to do this. And I'm like, oh, wait, I thought I completed the order. I mean, and then you're like, oh, you guys with the coupons and the spinning. It's so annoying.
You don't
get the 3 things that you're going to get for free.
Never ordered clothes from them, but I got a good coffee pot. It wasn't even a coffee pot.
A really good set of dining room chairs from them that are super fresh. Like I wanted them really bad. They were like $400 a chair. Everywhere else, I got $100. Love them.
I just like the like when people use it as a reference, like he's the Temu Obama, or he's the Temu something good, but the Temu version.
Yeah, I'm the Temu Brian Copeland today. I'm okay with it.
What do you want to know there, Yanni?
At least Sheen.
Oh yeah,
you're better.
I got a fast fashion vibe. Yeah, but I'm a little bit Shein. I'm a little bit Temu. It all depends on me. So Bill Maher, did you guys watch his show? I haven't been watching his show because I find myself like doing the whole like old man yelling at the clouds thing because he's so annoying. I've always found him to be an Islamophobic bigot. So wrapped up in a Democratic show.
He is. I have friends who write for his show and have written for him for a long time, and he's changed. He started with politically incorrect, and and then he for a while, like I was agreeing with a lot. Not that.
Yeah, I used to like him on politically incorrect a lot,
but he's moved, and then he started to say things that I agreed with. But he's gotten so he doesn't like he'll have guests on and they'll start to say something. He'll go, I'm speaking. This is my show. So this is the way it is.
Does he literally say that?
Why is he having guests? He can just sit in a chair and scream at the camera.
His podcast thing with the long form interviews, he's terrible. He doesn't listen. He talks, say what you want about Woody Allen. It's like a rare thing to have a long this year to have a long format interview with Woody Allen. He barely let him speak. He told him everything he had to say about Woody Allen instead of letting the guy speak. Weird.
Yeah, yeah. Tom gave him an excellent clap back today, didn't you, on Threads? Based on the fact that on his show, he was talking to Representative Ro Khanna, and he started complaining about Obama's presidential library, right? And he was like, who needs a library? $850 million cost and design. And he was saying that the cost of the presidential center and like, I don't know. Let me just, it sounded very like, I don't want this Black president to have a nice library. Because we've never heard him complain about a presidential
right. And he could have made a general statement about presidential libraries, but he made it very much about the Obama one.
Well, did he? Because did he point out that, maybe I read this somewhere, that, Clinton's was 165 million and then George W.'s was 500 million. Like they're going to go up with, inflation. But, but they have to raise the money for it. So
Right.
Biden's not even going to have one.
It's not tax dollars, right?
Right.
No.
The only
And they
thing
get private donations.
But the thing about the Obama one, and this has nothing to do with, except I do think it looks just like this big mammoth, kind of Big Brother's headquarters. I mean, it's not my sort of architecture, but
But if you look at, I think there's an hour kind of introduction to it on MSNBC online, and inside it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, plus the other thing that Bill Maher was interesting about this interview that Bill Maher, or his rant about Obama's thing, was that he asked the audience if they plan to go visit the library, and they all applauded. Yeah. And he screamed, "You're a bunch of fucking liars."
But you know what? I don't think he was as angry as that. I think he just was kind of like, why do people waste money on presidential libraries? And when the audience clapped, he just went, "Oh, you guys are liars." You know, I don't think he was angry.
But the other thing about it is, the reality is, it's booked up this year. You cannot get in there this year. That's how popular this is. If you want to go see it, if you want to go to the library, you have to book for next year. So I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, so not lying. You know what else?
I mean, Rep kind of pushed back on it and said, that at a time when Elon Musk is spending billions to send people to Mars, spending money commemorating the first and only Black president so far, if we continue to have presidents, maybe we'll have one day, it's worth it. And he's like, Maher was upset. He was like, we didn't know that story without the building. And unless you go to the building, you're like, Obama, who was he again? He was just really like kind of shitting on Obama. But
Tom, did he? I didn't. Oh,
Tom had an excellent clap back on Threads, didn't he?
Yeah, but you know what else?
And let me just read it. Let me just read Tom.
Okay.
To you, Bill, and then Tom is going to talk about it. Bill, you have devolved. In your entire history, you've never mentioned any presidential library. And now that our first Black president opens his, you're outraged. Dude, as a former friend, so you're not his friend anymore, Tom, who still cares a bit, stop. Get help. You're going to be off the air soon, hanging with only Kid Rock, shooting a Bud Light cans from your porch. You are now treading in the deep end of racist waters. Stop.
Yeah.
Tom,
thank you.
You have the floor.
Well, it is. I mean, to me, it screams racism. It's not an issue. It's not an issue that he generally has. It's basically an issue that he has, and it comes across racist. And this is the thing that Bill doesn't understand. It's the same thing he doesn't understand. He and both Sam Harris don't understand. And I like Sam Harris. What they don't understand about their rant about Muslims is you put any group, any religious group in power, like they are in Iran, and bad things will happen. There's no doubt in my mind that evangelicals, given taking all the rails off, would be just like Iran. They've shown they will, because you give them an inch, they take a mile. They demean their women. I saw this. What's the show where they have 20 people in one guy?
The Jubilee thing?
Jubilee, yeah. So there was this guy, this young guy, Dean Withers,
maybe?
Yeah. And he's surrounded by 20 MAGA women. And it's the most self-deprecating group of women. It's shocking how self-loathing they are. They're trying to convince this young man that they're not worth a shit. They're stupid. They're emotional. They should not. They probably shouldn't even be allowed to vote. That's the point. That's 20 women arguing against their rights in this country that they believe they don't deserve because they're women. And this is the kind of thing, the same thing with Bill, who's devolved. I mean, I've known this guy. I mean, Bill's always had issues. He's always been an asshole, but he's our asshole. And we knew, Bill wears it all on his vest. I mean, I have a great story about Bill, and his his moment of intimacy with me. He took me out. I was like around my birthday, and we went out to this men's club in LA. And he's, treating me to lunch, and then as a surprise, treats me to a lap dance. I mean, a private lap dance. He goes off to his. This woman's with me and mine, and she's starting to grind on me. And and she notices I'm just not into it. And she's going, "What's the matter, baby?" You know, the creepy thing. Oh, honey, what's the matter? What can I do? And I'm like going, "Hey, look, no offense, but I can't trick my brain into believing you give a shit about me. So why don't you just go off and make some more money? I'll tell Bill I had a great time. You'll get a nice tip, and and we're good. I'll just wait here for him to get done and thank him for his kindness." But I really would have liked a bigger TV. That would have been nice instead of an uncaring lap dance. But that's Bill reaching out, being a guy, connecting with his buddy, and and you talk about sad guys who don't know how to reach. He's never been in a major relationship in his life with anybody. I mean, he has really good friends. He still has really good friends. But he's lost a lot of those though. And I don't think he's ever had an intimate relationship with in his life. He acts like it's beneath him, to have that. He's superior for making that choice in life. And I'm okay with being asexual. I know plenty of people that are asexual, but Bill's not asexual. He's just incapable of intimacy.
He doesn't think that they should feel a need for him, and he doesn't have to give them any emotional reciprocity. Like, he doesn't do the work for that. He's one of those guys.
Tom, off air, I need to share a story with you.
One other thing he said in that clip that I take issue with, not only in this context, but it comes up all the time, where he said about the 850 million cost, he said, wouldn't that be better spent on something else? And that is a thing you hear all the time. Yeah. You hear it about the space program and other stuff. And the thing about it is, let's say it was tax dollars, not spending on that is like, it's our political system. Not spending it there is not going to give us health care, because right. Our system isn't giving us health care, period. I don't even like when people say the money that we give Israel, and like sometimes people frame it as we're giving them money for them to have health care and we don't. And it's like, I don't like conflating these things, because the reason we don't have health care doesn't have anything to do with money we give to other people or spend on other things. It's because our system, there are people that are, I don't know how to phrase it, but you know what I mean?
Well, it's because the people in power don't want us to have that. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because the guys who pay the billionaire class, the Epstein class, don't want to pay for our health care. Yeah. They don't want to pay for any portion of our health care. They don't want to pay for our Social Security. That's why they stop it at 360. They don't have to give a dime more. The percentage of taxes that they pay goes from the normal amount of taxes that we pay, which is 12, but that's only up to 180,000. After that, if they're a billionaire, they're paying only 2% of what they make. It's insane. And that's why we have a deficit in this country, because all we've done for the last since Reagan is give these assholes fucking more money to take money away from us. The middle class is shrinking. People are in debt. Nobody can afford to buy a house. These young people I know that work hard, they know they're not going to be able to afford a house. They can barely afford rent. And in the meanwhile, we have a trillionaire. Yay, break out the little confetti thingies, because we get a trillionaire. And he's a foreigner. He's a fucking foreigner. You want to get mad at immigration? That guy's a foreigner, for fuck's sake.
When I think about the way that Peter Thiel, and who is also a foreigner, and I have no problems with foreigners. My father was a foreigner until he became a U.S. citizen.
I'm just saying the irony is thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and others, they act like they just got up one day and were like, I'm going to be a billionaire. And then it happened and no one helped them, but they have government contracts. I mean, Elon Musk is a trillionaire made by government contracts.
Yeah.
Same with Peter Thiel. Palantir.
And that's our money. That's our money.
So they are spitting in the face of the taxpayers that made them who they are.
Yeah, and during the Doge period, it continues, but I mean the classic Doge period, the original Doge period under his helm, he retweeted something about, like, it was a picture of a woman and she's laughing, and it's like laughing because you know you're not part of the parasite class. And that was him referring to all the government workers.
Right.
Well,
like they're parasites, like they're not serving a job and getting a small salary for it. No, they're the parasite class because they're sucking on the tit of government money, which all of them combined don't get as much as he does.
Yeah, but he's promising space. He's promising space travel for everyone soon, and we'll be living on Mars. And that's
and personal robots. Yeah. Like they're just going to give us an Optimus humanoid robot.
I love the whole Mars thing because if you talk to any real scientist, they would say it's impossible for people to live on Mars just because of the atmosphere and what it would do to your body after a number of years. You would never, ever be able to come back to to this planet. You know, once you go to Mars, that's it. You're at Mars. You're not coming back.
You know what they'll do is they'll make prisons on Mars.
Yeah. And then they'll make a movie about it with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Breaking out. I like
get to the chopper.
Send Elon.
You know,
his wish.
Years ago, I saw this sort of a documentary that presented ideas of Noam Chomsky's, and it was sort of like presenting an argument. And one of the points that stuck with me was about healthcare being tied to jobs, and that it's just the threat of unemployment and having your healthcare tied to that job is a great way to control people. People are much less likely to speak their minds when they know that, well, shit, first of all, I can't afford to lose my job, but I really can't afford to lose my job and my health care. And it's a great way to, like, I think they like that system a lot. That's a great type of control.
And Cobra sucks major donkey dick, you know, because you're paying way more for less, you know, just to have that bridge between jobs. And that's what that's what it's all about. It's all about control. This has been a like 40 plus year plan at destroying the middle class because they want our money. George Carlin said it a while ago. They want it all. They're coming for your Social Security. They're coming for your Medicare. These are empty vessels. In fact, I always refer to the billionaire class as addicts. They're more dangerous than the meth head or the heroin addict on the street. 10 times more, thousands of times more dangerous because they have a hole they can never fill. They can never stop wanting. Do you realize, how much? My wife's an accountant, and she actually said that to sustain a life in retirement where you're bringing in about $250,000 a year off of your money, or for your personal money in banks, or a modest investment portfolio. She says about $4.8 million, and you're set. You're technically set. If you got
we're going to have to wrap it up in a minute. I just want to interject for a second. Rex and Jonna have commented that we are talking too much about intimate body parts.
That's my brother. Rex is my brother. He can get over it.
Well, Rex is awesome. I love his commentary. I want to be friends.
Uh-oh. I don't know if you can hear me, but everyone is frozen for me.
Oh, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So anyways, that's I just think of the billionaire class as parasites.
Yeah.
And that they're sucking off the middle class, and that's why the middle class is shrinking. They don't care if they kill us all off. They don't.
Who's
They
going
don't
to buy
care.
their stuff? Who's going to buy their? If we're all
It's not.
dead,
It's about who's the king of the mountain. That's what it's about. It's not about you're not going to reason with them. They don't. They could probably do just as well if they were reasonable and gave us enough money to buy things and enjoy a good life. And but it's not. They don't get to be. They don't get to be billionaires.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about.
Yaini, so that's the thing that we have always thought, hey, if we don't have the money, like Ford paid his employees enough to buy the cars, and if we don't have enough money, who's going to buy the stuff? I saw a video last year, I think already, by an economist who said, we no longer contribute enough. It doesn't matter. They don't really need us anymore. He dug into the economics of it. And when 100 million people only control like a fraction of the economy, they can cater. More and more businesses are catering to premium services and the island experiences and first class and beyond first class. And they'll be fine with that because they've gotten it to the point where we don't contribute that much anymore to their bottom line. They can lose.
I heard that these billionaires are building private walled cities in certain parts of South America. And that is why the Argentina thing happened with Peter Thiel. And I was like, girl, bye, stay there, But and my thought was, well, who's going to work in these privately walled cities if you're killing everybody off who's not a billionaire? Like, who's going to run your high-speed trains?
Robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elon's robots.
You know what? Have you seen the China trying to introduce these robots to do stuff, and people keep getting like there was a robot that beat up a kid in a karate thing. It's just, and it wasn't supposed to. Or like the robot police in China, where like there was the guy on the scooter and he wasn't doing anything, and then the robot police just attacked him and beat his ass. Like,
maybe they're testing their boundaries.
The thing is capitalism. I mean, this is kind of teenage to say, but capitalism is, they don't want to break even. Every year you have to make more. So it isn't, so that if you have that mindset that, breaking even or you have a bad year, like you have to make more, you have to make more. I mean, billionaires are just kind of a super version of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've thought about that, public companies, because if you're a small business person and you make a couple 100,000 a year, you could be fine and you don't have to make more the next year. You could be living great. But if you're a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
I've been thinking for a long time that this is like the end of the Monopoly game, that we've seen them and that I have this terrible feeling that this is towards the end where they want to wipe the board now, and they don't care how many people die. They don't care how many people are hurt. That's their plan.
My guess would be if you really put somebody like Elon Musk under a lie detector test, he was probably disappointed that COVID wasn't more lethal.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
you really need those guys really believe they need to thin the herd.
But you're right, because the robots are not at the level to do all the work that society requires. It takes millions of people. Yeah,
but they could be. Like, I mean, especially
I don't know, because if they don't have the employees to do to fix the glitches in the robot, because they got rid of them too, let them have their walled city. We know where to drop all the snakes and the jaguars.
Let them have a walled city.
I'll be over here eating hot chicken and buying designer bags. How about that? That my friends made at a living wage.
I just think it'd be great if they all went to Mars and couldn't get back. That would be great.
That would be great. They couldn't. If they go, they're not coming back.
Yeah, bye. See you later. Good luck on that trip. Permanently. But this has been a great show. But we have to wrap it up. So I want to know, Brian, what have you got going on?
Well, I'm getting ready. I have a strange career, and I'm going to Germany this week for the Lindau Nobel Laureate meeting, where I'm not there to be a comedian. I'm there to be a good interviewer. I'll be running around interviewing. This is the 75th anniversary of this amazing scientific meeting, and they're going to have about 70 Nobel laureates in one place and about 600 young scientists from 80 to 100 countries. What's that?
You like your whole face lit up. You're like, I'm gonna have so much fun doing this.
Yeah, so I just run around with a selfie stick and an iPhone and get as many interviews as I can. I mean, I'm required to do to fulfill a contract, a certain number, but it's so much fun.
Wow, that sounds.
Who are you going to be doing it for?
What's that?
Who are you going to be doing it for? Is it for your own channel?
It's no. It's the meet. I've been working with this meeting for 10 years. It's the best gig I've ever had. One year they hired me to perform at the opening ceremony, and for fun, I was running around interviewing some scientists, and that became the gig. And it's lasted 10 years, like no other gig. I haven't even been working for Cobb's, for that long. So. Oddly enough, I just got a text message from Johnny Steele. I don't know what it says, but there it is. So I do it for them. And up until this year, it's been live on their social media channels and mine. But this year we're doing it different, and it won't be live, but it'll all be Lindau Nobel is their handle. And a lot of this will end up on my at Science Comedian. But I guess mostly afterwards. I'll do some live streaming maybe on Instagram, but the interviews will come later. But that's what I have going on right now, which is fun for me.
And Ginny, what have you got going on?
Well, I can't compete with Brian right now.
It's not a competition.
But no, my mind goes blank whenever anybody asks me. I've got into a couple comedy festivals, so I'm preparing for that and just doing shows around town.
But you got your IG up there so everyone can follow you on Instagram. And are you on TikTok or any of the other stuff?
Yeah, I'm on most of the social media. Most of the social media.
Are you on X?
I am not.
I used to be on Twitter, but I gave up on it. I kept, but I didn't want to give up. I didn't want anyone else to take my at Science Comedian handle. So my account is still there. I didn't want to like totally deactivate it, but I haven't been back to it.
I'm going to follow you. You're at Science Comedian. Okay, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, but not on X because there's no new content, but Instagram.
And Tom, are you working on anything? What have you got going on besides working here?
No, I just doing my voiceover work, and also you can if you want to check out the documentary on me and my former club, Cobb's Comedy Club, you can go to Amazon Prime or Tubi and just look up the Comedy Club. Dana Carvey's in it, Paul Poundstone, the late Bob Saget, Bill Maher even.
Really?
For a brief, yeah.
I want to watch that.
Just for a sec. But yeah, it's really cool it's mostly about the making of the current version of Cobb's Comedy Club in North Beach. So yeah, so that's always there. And I do a lot of voiceover work, and check my website out, TomSawyerVoices.com for more info.
Okay.
And Aini, what do you have going on?
I'm just going to be filling in for Brian and unpacking. I just moved into a new apartment, and that's about it. And I've got a project I'm working on for this channel. And everyone who's watching, just please thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like. Your comments go a long way, and we appreciate you. And we will be here next week with some of the best comedians and writers and influencers in the industry talking about this crazy that is our life right now. Just breathe, y'all.
Yeah, next week it'll be some of the best.
Yeah.
But it was the best this week too. It was the best this week too. So I'll see you all next week. And Brian is getting better, and he will be with us soon.
Great.
Get well, Brian.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.